Hello, my name is David Schmidt, and I'm currently an instructor in the Department of Informatics here at Fort Hays State University. I used to be Computing Center Director, and I started a grant to the NSF, hoping to get it funded so that we could improve our infrastructure. Now, I know that infrastructure is not all that sexy a topic, but if it doesn't work, people notice it, and researchers were noticing that they had big delays when they tried to transfer large files. So basically, the NSF, knowing that researchers had these difficulties with typical installations, typical universities, funded a program that was called the NSF Campus Cyber Infrastructure Program, and we were fortunate enough to get an award. So we got $350,000, and with that, we proposed that we would improve our speed across the internet and improve the speed across campus. So basically, we had a border router that connected at 1 gigabit to the CanRan network, the state network run by CanRan, and we wanted to increase that to 10 gigabit. Also, we wanted to have 10 gigabit connections to specific researchers so they could go 10 gigabit from their desktop to the border router, to the internet, to some other site. So that was the goal. And the NSF approved our proposal, and they talk about science DMZ. They talk about DMZ so that scientists have a kind of sandbox to play in where they can upload and download files, move files quickly without interfering with the regular network. So the goal was to create a science DMZ for these scientists and also to improve some of their servers, some of their PCs, some of the storage, and connect them by fiber so that they could go 10 gigabit across the internet. And we've done that to a large degree. So the solution here, we have, if you'll notice here under solutions, a new core router. We've improved the border router. We have fiber to the desktop or selected servers. We have a Globus server, which is a server that's optimized for large data transfers. And we have a new perf sonar node so we can monitor the network to make sure the routes are optimized for transferring data. So we had some issues. We needed staff to get up to speed, and these were some of the challenges. So they needed to learn how to set up the new DMZ and the data transfer node, which is a server. And then some locations required quite a bit of work to get connected and configured. And then once we got started, some other people stepped up and also wanted to become connected, which is a good problem to have, I think. Some of the scientific impact we're having with this grant is, and I'll talk about individual researchers in a minute, they're working on safety standards for lasers on human retinas, studying severe weather trends. They're looking at weather-related mortality rates. They're looking at high-speed streaming connections to other locations. And they've used drone data, balloon data, and so on as part of their research. Dr. C.D. Clark uses lasers and to study the effects of lasers on human retinas. He doesn't do these with human or animal subjects. He uses simulations that have been created and he runs those simulations on some high-performance computers at K-State University, and he's also used high-performance computers at the Air Force Research Academy laboratory at San Antonio. And parenthetically, a student of his spent the summer there this past summer. And Dr. Grady Dixon has used a lot of weather data and archive data to study tornadoes in what he calls Tornado Valley and the effects of weather on mortality, corresponding with a colleague at West Point. And Dr. Gordon Carlson has worked with 3D high-definition video transmissions across the internet, and he's working to get connections established at locations in Chicago and in Hawaii. Dr. Paul Adams has worked with video created from ballooning in western Kansas. And Dr. Bill Stark has been using drones to map lakes and construction sites. He is currently mapping the construction site of one of the new buildings on campus as it is being constructed. And the drones have been used to look at lakes and take video of those lakes, then reconstruct the volume of the water that's evaporating from some of those lakes, and so on. So physics has been running, the students have helped run simulations for laser research. Informatics, one of the students did a capstone project using perf sonar. Kansas Academy of Math and Science will be accessing large data sets of weather data using a new computer and a new connection that's being established in Makerspace. Geosciences has accessed large data sets of weather data, and they have a PC in a lab. So physics has Fabric connections and 2 powerful PCs in a lab for students to use, as well as a connection for C.D. Clark and Buffington. Informatics, we have a perf sonar node and a powerful PC that is fiber connected. Kansas Math of Science, as I mentioned, will have a fiber connected PC in Makerspace. Physical Science is doing some work on that location. Geosciences has a fiber connected PC in a lab. Biology has a very powerful PC, fiber connected, in one of their labs. And the Institute for New Media Studies has 2 fiber connected PCs. So all of these were purchased from the grant, and we are very grateful to the NSF for allowing us to work with them on this grant. As a result, we've had connections with Internet 2. We're not an Internet 2 university, but we worked with Internet 2 in writing the grant, and because we're part of CanRen, we have an Internet 2 connection which they use when we need to get out to other locations at high speeds. Great Plains Network has been very valuable. They have supported us. They helped us when we were writing the grant. And Court Buffington and others at CanRan have helped set up perf sonar, given us advice on Globus, licensing on Globus, that sort of thing. And we work with K-State with Beocat, which is their name for a high-performance computing cluster. And we've had contacts at University of Kansas over the years. And now, as a result of the grant, we've got more contacts with Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, and so on. Those are some of the things going on. Other researchers at the university, I'm sure, need some high-performance computing, and as they come forward, we will work with them to establish connections and use the data transfer node in order to move data across the internet. I'm really excited about this grant, and I hope that more people step forward to make use of it.